This is actually looking like a nice proper batter and not whatever the hell I was working with before. G'day and welcome to the Have a Go channel. Today we're going to be doing some baking. In the spirit of Carnivore Month, it is World Carnivore Month in January. So we're going to be making some carnivore bread. I say we, but I mean me, and you're going to come along for a ride of however this is going to turn out. And I'm currently bent over the kitchen cabinet because I spent way too much time trying to figure out how to get me all in frame without showing too much of all the random stuff up the top and all that. But this is as good as I could get it. So if my head's chopped out most of the time. Also, the audio is probably not going to be the best, but who cares? Maybe I should turn the aircon off. Let's hope that helped. Alright, anyway, I'm following ketoandeat.com's diet, their carnivore bread for the carnivore diet. So I'll put a link to the recipe in the description of this video. But anyway, their ingredients are 450 grams of ground pork, or pork mince, 8 eggs, a quarter cup of butter, 5 ounces of pork rinds, which they recommend buying some off Amazon, but I just got some pork crackle from the shop and I just figured that's going to work pretty good. I should have bought 3 bags because I did the conversion after I'd bought them, and due to reasons I won't get into, I don't have access to the shop at the moment to get more. But that's all right. We're just gonna figure it out. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt and a mixing bowl and a bread pan, which I'm pretty sure I've got one that's the right size. Alrighty, so step 1. Start by preheating the oven to 380 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Just gonna do that. Alright, we're off to a cracking start here. Step 2, crack the eggs into your mixing bowl. Where are my eggs? And separate the whites from the yolks, which you'll put the yolks in a blender. I have a blender. Alrighty. It's actually really easy to separate the yolks from the whites. Basically, you just crack it out under your hand and you might need to do it a couple of times. It's messy, like it's not easy, clean work, but that's the way I do it. Put that in there. But, I mean, if you can't handle a bit of mess in your kitchen, like, what are you doing? You know, like, cooking isn't clean, easy work. This one, there we go. Look at that. Perfect. Get that out of there. That one. That's 2. Alright. The shells. My wife taught me, under pain of death, to clean as I go. So, I like being alive, so I think I'll listen to her. Okay, now we're going to beat the egg whites using a hand mixer on high. The one that I've got doesn't seem to have any settings, it just has go and stop. But the mixture should become frothy and foamy. I think it's done. Alright. Next, step 4, you're going to melt the butter on your stove top and then in a blender mix it with the ground pork. With the ground pork and egg yolk. Since the raw meat is fairly hard to blend, stop 2 to 3 times. Oh, silly me, getting confused when it says pork. I'm using chicken, because the first recipe that I found was a little bit different. They were using chicken mince, and I think I'd prefer to use that than pork. I don't know, maybe more protein, I don't exactly know why. So yeah, for us, or for me, it's the egg whites, the chicken mince, the butter, and the egg yolk. Hang on, I've skipped a step. I've got to melt the butter. Grass-fed from New Zealand. Fancy stuff. Alright. How much do I need again? Quarter cup. 1/3. Why is nothing where I leave it? Oh, there we go. Quarter cup. So, I'm just going to get that. Looks about good to me. Then I need a pan. This one's probably too big, but who cares? There we go. That won't come out. This is just going so well. The butter is melting. Alrighty then. While that's melting, put this butter back. Don't want any cross contamination. I used to work in a deli, I know what I'm talking about. Now they used 450 grams of pork. But I got 500 grams of chicken. It'll do. Just get that. Just plop that in there. Raw chicken. Cleaning as I go, because I don't want my wife to stab me. Every married man out there knows what I'm talking about. And butter's melting good. You know, I could have done step 4 and step 5 at the same time, but oh well. Pouring all of that in. Good enough. That should be the motto here. Have a go. Good enough. Right. So I'm going to skip over this part. Like, I'm going to do it, obviously, but it's not going to be very interesting if I've just got my back over here just, well, that's going. So the next thing you're going to see is step 6. Step 6. Crush the pork rinds to a fine powder. They used a food processor. I don't have one. Crush and fold them along with salt into the bread batter. rolling again, actually. Huzzah! I don't know if I call that one a fine powder, but well. Now for bag number 2. Alrighty. Bag number 2 done. I think I did a bit of a better job with that one. But oh well. Not gonna play favourites. Okay. And the salt, I'm using Celtic sea salt because that's all the rage at the moment. Apparently it's got all the good stuff in it. It says to use 3/4 of a teaspoon. A teaspoon. I think I'm going to go with a teaspoon. I like a bit of salt. Chuck that in there. And with the less pork rinds that I have, maybe a bit more of salty flavour will help. Some kind of balancing there, I don't know. Alrighty. Step 7. Pour the batter into the... Oh wait, hang on. Oh, I'm going to put that into bread batter. So I've got to mix that up now. Alright. Step 7. Wait. You know what I forgot to do? I skipped over step 5. Use a hand mixer to blend the egg whites and the pork, butter and egg yolk mixture. That's why I have a bowl of egg whites sitting here staring at me that I completely forgot about. So I'm just going to get all of this here. Just going to figure this out. Hopefully, having completely derailed, despite having completely derailed the recipe, I can salvage this. That's the art, or the objective, I should say. All this is just getting in, having a go, trying new things, and eventually I can say that enough that people won't realise it. What I really mean is just pretend like you're not stuffing up when you are stuffing up. No, I'm joking. We like to have a good time here. Get in and have a go. Just don't take it so seriously, you know. It's, if I want to do this, I want to be the best. If I want to do that, I should be the champion. I'm like, man, meh. I mean, that's what I'm not disagreeing with that outlook. I've been there in life, and it's a good way to be a lot of the time. But sometimes it's nice to just kick back, relax, and just see what happens. Can't wait for people to be like, oh, hey, cutting your head off in this entire video, and I'll go, yeah, makes me look like I'm tall, but I am actually average. Alright, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, great, that was great. What is an intense machine I've got here. Maybe I should have a crack. Just a regular old whisk. It's what Granny would have used. So this is actually looking like a nice proper batter, and not whatever the hell I was working with before. Really gotta work those arm muscles. It's falling apart. Well, if you can hear a little dinging, that's part of the metal on this whisk not working, coming off. That's alright. Well, you know what? If I was a religious man, I'd pray right now, because this is quite frankly outrageous. But oh well. One day someone is going to invent baking paper that goes into a pan or whatnot and does not make me want to strangle a small animal in frustration. So apparently, the camera wanted to give me the fright of my life and stopped recording. I have no idea when it stopped. I'll figure that out in the edit. But in case I missed a lot, this is what it looks like about to go in the oven. Oh. Put that in there. And that's going to go in there for 60 minutes. 50 to 60 it said, but yeah, let me just double check. Yep, 50 to 60 minutes. I'm going to leave it for 60 just to be safe, and then it says to let it sit for 20. So I will see you then. Alrighty, 60 minutes are up, and then another 20 minutes on top of that, I should say, because I had to let it set. So I'm going to cut into it now, chuck it on the plate, and I'm going to have a taste, and we're going to see how it turned out. I should show you. It looks pretty similar to how it went in, but anyway, cuts very similar to meat. I should have used a bread knife, and this is not the straightest cut in the world, but that doesn't matter. It's the bluntest knife in the world. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Well, there you have it. That is carnivore bread. Yeah.